Yes sir. Daar zijn we weer man. Een nieuwe week en dat betekent een nieuwe aflevering van de Moody Without Music stream. Hier op War Stories Radio Live. Het enige station waar je liefde geeft en je liefde krijgt. In ongeveer een half uurtje gaan we dat doen met onze gast van vandaag, Vincent Rockafella. Hij komt uit Amerika, is een dope artiest. We gaan zo meteen ook luisteren naar zijn muziek. En natuurlijk meer te weten komen over hem als artiest. En een klein beetje hem als persoon. Voor het zover is, hebben we eerst natuurlijk nog een aantal bangers voor de boeg staan. We gaan zo meteen beginnen met Zero Ismail met Darling. Vervolgens hebben we Cruise met My Way. Danique met Feather. Wabba samen met Archie tracks op Close. En daarna hebben we Defano Holwijn met Ownen. Dat zijn niet alle tracks, maar de eerste tracks die zometeen zullen volgen. Wil jij nou ook een interview bij mij of bij een van de andere shows hier op het station? Word dan member van de website www.wsradiolive.com/members. Dat kan je doen via je Facebook account, via je Gmail account of een ander random e-mailadres. En zodra je dat hebt gedaan, kan je ons dus een berichtje sturen met het feit dat je geïnteresseerd bent in een interview met ons. Met dat gezegd hebben, denk ik dat ik de switch ga maken naar Engels. Of zullen we nog heel even choppen over Nederlands, want dingen gaan fout hier in Nederland. We zijn weer, zoals je weet, langer op lockdown. Ajax is ook lekker bezig met het niet inschrijven van Haller. De dopingcontrole bij André Onana met de schorsing van een jaar. Damn. Maar ja man, laat me daarover niet te veel uitweiden. Het gaat over muziek vandaag. Eerder deze week hadden we Mzilla's halftime show, donderdagnacht 1 uur. Een dag later was het tijd voor Female MC's Radio. En vandaag de Moody Without Music stream. Morgen hoe de LK Presents en de dag daarna sluiten we de week af met The Rilla Show met yours truly en hoe de LK. Samen interviewen we een dope artiest. Wie dat is ga ik niet verklappen, zorg dat je erbij bent. And with that being said, I want to welcome everybody to a new show, a new week, and a new episode, like I said, of the Moody Without Music stream here on War Stories Radio Live, the only station you show love, you get love. And in about, let's say, 30 minutes, 25 minutes or so, we're gonna show some love towards Vincent Rockafella, who is a dope artist from the States, coming from Texas. But we're also gonna listen to some music beforehand and end this first section of the segment, I have to say, with one of the bangers of today's guest. And if you want to have an interview with me or with one of the other fellas on War Stories Radio Live, all you have to do is become a member of the website www.wsradiolive.com/members, and you can do so with your Facebook account, you can do so with your Gmail account, or use any other random random email address. As soon as you've done that, just let us know that you're interested in doing an interview and let us know on which platform you want to do that. Like I said, on Wednesday we have the MCLS halftime show. A day later it's time for Female MC's Radio. Then it's Friday again with yours truly. Saturday it's Who the LK Presents. And last but not least, we're closing down the week with The Rilla Show, on which yours truly teams up with Huda LK and interview dope artists over there as well. Meanwhile, I have to take a sip of my drink because it feels like I'm coughing. No corona here, just good weed with some cigarette for those who wonder. Yes, that's how we roll it here in the Netherlands. And I don't give a F what you think about that. With that being said, let me take that sip because I'm almost choking out here. And it's a nicely poured rum and coke, Bacardi Cola, jawel. With that being said, I think it's time to go to the music. Again, if you are interested in doing an interview with either me, Mzilla, The General, or Who the LK Presents, become a member of the website. With that being said, we're gonna start off with 6 songs at least, starting with Zero Ismail with Darling. Then we have Cruise with My Way, Danique from the Netherlands with Feather, translated further. Then we have a collaboration between Archie Tracks and Vava on Close, followed by Defano Holwijn with Owner. And then we have two more songs left before we have the first section of the interview. With that being said, I hope you will enjoy these next upcoming bangers in my opinion. We starting slow as always and build it up. But yeah, man, it's your boy IBJ. You're listening to the Moody Without music stream here on War Stories Radio Live, the only station you show love, you get love. Bang.
I done ran away from house. Now I'm living on the couch. Swear a nigga feeling out just to see what life about. I've been searching for a feel.
Feeling like I can't feel my face. This shit so wrong.
En dat was het eerste gedeelte of het eerste 30 minuten segment van de Moody Without Music stream hier op War Stories Radio Live. Het enige station waar je liefde geeft en je liefde krijgt. Over een aantal minuten gaan we het eerste gedeelte van een gesprek hebben met onze gast van vandaag. Zijn naam is Vincent Rockafella. Maar voor het zover is ga ik eerst een korte recap doen van de nummers die we zojuist hebben afgespeeld. Ga ik de beat ietsje zachter zetten, want ik hoor dat die iets wat aan de harde kant staat. By the way, de beats zijn geproduceerd door Fonsway Productions. Shout out to you. Maar ja, de eerste 30 minuten gingen als volgt. De eerste track was van Ciro Ismael met Darling. Gevolgd door Cruise met My Way. Daarna hadden we Danique met Verder. Wawa en Architects op Close. Gevolgd door Defano Holmein op One. En toen hadden we nog 2 tracks te gaan. De eerste was van Redman UK met Another One. En de laatste was van Ciro, Make It Back Home. Zoals ik al zei, over een aantal minuten ga ik onze gast van vandaag erbij halen. En is het tijd voor het eerste gedeelte van het gesprek. Ondertussen moet ik ook wat adjustments doen aan de visual side. Maar laat me alvast een switch maken naar Engels, terwijl ik probeer te multitasken. Mocht er dan niet het geval zijn dat het een beetje fout gaat, stay with me. Maar ja man, with that being said, I'm gonna do the switch over to English. Meanwhile, I'm also adjusting the visual side for a guest which I'm gonna bring in a minute or so. But yeah, stay with me because it's time already for the first recap of the evening of the first 30 minutes. So let's see what we played. We started off with 2 songs from the States. First one was from Sarah Ismail with Darling, and then we had Cruise with My Way. Then we went to the Netherlands for 4 songs. The first one, no, 3 songs. First one was from Danique with Feather, translated to Further. Then we had a collaboration between Wawa and Architects on Close. Then we had Onan by Delfano Holman, and then we went to the UK with Redman UK with Another One, and last but not least it was Ciro with Make It Back Home. Let me do this final adjustments before I bring in the claps, because I want to do this right, family. So before I say something and gonna bring it in, give me 20 seconds to adjust your visual side so everything is nice and clean once they see it. That should be right. And with that being said, it's time for our guest of today, Vincent Rockafella. What up, fam?
Nothing much. Kicking it, man. What's up with you?
I'm fine, man. I'm currently trying to multitask, and man and multitask that don't go well, but stick with me. And while I do that, introduce yourself to the people, because I'm not sure if everyone, even though they should, know who you are, man. Let the people know.
I like it. I like it. So, Vincent Rockafella, straight out of Arlington, Texas. One half of the group TNG. TNG stands for Top Notch Grinding.
Okay.
Everything we do, we try to make it top notch. So that explains that. But yeah, just rapper, writer.
Okay. Versatile.
Mm-hmm.
And is it just writing music, or do you maybe write books for? You never know nowadays. How far does the writing go?
I haven't gotten into writing books, but I write stories. I write a lot of stories in my music. And, a lot of rap today is about drugs, guns, girls, and stuff like that. My favorite rappers were Nas, Biggie, Tupac, stuff like that. So they wrote a
Hmm.
lot of stories about their life, and
Facts.
that's what I do pretty much. I write stories about my life.
Dope. And how long have you been making stories in music form?
Well, I've been writing for about 10 years. Ever since I started writing, I wrote like that. Those are my influences. So usually when you start writing, you just try to emulate who you whom you've listened to so many times,
Hmm.
and that's what I did. But I never got out of it. That's the way I enjoy listening to music. I enjoy listening to stories, and I enjoy making stories for everybody.
And we miss it nowadays. So let me point it out right away. We miss the storytelling artists because nowadays most of is gibberish and it doesn't. Um, it isn't about the lyrics anymore. It's just about the sound and how the flow sounds. And the words doesn't matter nowadays. So I'm glad people like you are still around, being true to what hip
Thank
hop
you.
used to be.
Right, appreciate that, man.
So
Appreciate
back
that.
back to those influences. Who are name the entire list who back in the day inspired you to start making music?
Oh, so as a kid, I would listen. So I'm kind of showing my age here, but
I'm 30.
yeah, well, I'm 37, bruh. So I'm,
You're 30.
yeah, I'm a little up there. We used to have Walkmans, right? So you
I
you
remember
put the
those.
CD in the Walkman, you shut it, you put the
Hmm.
earphones over your head, and I would have Ready to Die from Biggie, Tupacalypse Now, um, man, and I would put these on, and I would hear these stories, and then Nas came along. Biggie and Tupac really can't be in my top 10 anymore or top five because they're not alive. They're not allowed to make music,
Well,
so they can't
true,
make anything.
true, but yeah, um, not many artists come close to what they done for either the industry, but also content-wise in the music. Let's be honest. So I get you because they're not around anymore. But if you compare
Yeah.
their music to nowadays music, they can still. I don't want even
Oh
want to
yeah.
say it, man. You know what I mean?
They're 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 still relevant. They're still relevant, and you know, I I would say Nas, Jay-Z. I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan. Wiz Khalifa, and I don't know, probably Currency or something like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hmm.
So what's the first line that comes to mind, or out of all of those great artists?
Um,
Yeah, I told you beforehand I'm gonna throw you, and these aren't even the random questions, so bear with me. But I'm gonna throw you off a bit sometimes.
uh, you know what? Nas comes to mind, and he always said, there's a line in the song where he said, "I never sleep, cause sleep is the cousin of death," right? So I try to take that approach to the music. Like I'm always trying to write something. I don't ever want to get caught sleeping because it's the cousin of death, right? So
Facts, facts. We're not gonna segment into it right now, but it would be a good segment towards the first song which I had in the list, Top Notch Grinding, because that's pretty much what it comes down to, right?
right, good
So,
segue.
how do you? No, we're not even near playing your song. We're gonna chop it up with you and get to know you more before that. But
I know.
how do you feel about nowadays music? Just to keep it on topic about the previous question.
Oh man, the storytelling aspect of music is gone, dude. It's really sad to see that people are more they're more they're more interested in how your Instagram looks than what's coming out of your mouth.
Facts. Yeah, it's all the
Which
flashy stuff, and I think the sorry to interrupt you. I hope you will proceed after I'm done, but I think the audience has changed as well, and I know I'm mostly white as well. But I think that has a big influences onto what is important nowadays in comparison to back in the days.
Hmm.
Do you feel, or is that bullshit? Come on, Rob. If it
No,
is,
no,
just
that's a great perspective to have. I mean, you're probably right about as more influences. But don't get me wrong, hip hop has always been about um, including those who weren't included in other things, right?
yeah,
But
facts.
at the same time, though, outside influences have come in and and polluted what it's actually about. You
Facts.
know, polluted the air with other things besides music that should teach you something, that you should learn something from, that you should hear it and think, oh wow, that's a lesson. I can use that.
Yeah.
You know?
Nowadays you can't even relate because one, you can't understand the word what they're saying. Two, there is nothing
Yep.
to relate to.
Yeah. What are you going to relate to? You're not.
Facts.
Are you pimping? Are you selling drugs? If you are, then you can relate to that. But most of us aren't.
No, no, but even what they nowadays call trap and drill music isn't
Right.
as meaningful that when back in the day. Once they in back in the day, you actually believed it and was like, well, I'm not messing with that part of the city. Nowadays, it almost, even though some of them are real hitters, but nowadays it almost feels staged, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's these record companies too, man. They play a part in all this. I understand the consumers drive the economy, right? I mean,
Mm,
we get that. People want what they want, but radio stations, A&Rs at these big music corporations, they go out and find these people like 6ix9ine who look like a clown, who look like a clown. You look crazy.
hmm.
Um, and these other people with all these look. I know Lil Wayne started the tattoos all over you and stuff like that, but Lil Wayne can rap. He's excluded from this.
Yeah, because he freestyled every bar he had. Well, until now, everything he spits is out of the dome. So yeah, that's
Exactly.
yeah.
You excluded from this, Wayne. You a weirdo to an extent, but
He's also pardoned
you
by
on the
us,
correct.
not only by Trump.
Thank
He's pardoned by us.
you. I like that. I like that. But yeah, all you got is a look. And don't get me wrong, 6ix9ine. If you watch 6ix9ine, he got hella presence. Like his stage shows are insane. But what is he actually saying? All he's doing is bringing energy and just looking crazy. And that's all they want to put in front of these kids. So that as a result, that's what the game is about these.
Facts.
And it's sad.
It really is, man. And like you said earlier, it isn't about the music, but how their Instagram or social media looks like.
Yeah.
But how do you feel we can break that vicious circle? What can we do to get it back to how it was?
You know, I think the people at the top, the people at the top, the people who run these radio stations, I think what it is that everything's about money and nothing's about the art, right?
Facts.
And what we have is we have a bunch of people
But
who are
it
full.
goes. You fell out for a bit. I think you're back. Can you say something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
here.
you're back. You're back. You're back. No,
Okay.
I thought you froze for a second. So please proceed.
Yeah. Well, what it's a what it's about more than anything is the money. So they're not finding actual artists. They're not finding the J. Coles. They're not finding the Drakes, the stuff like that. They're finding people like Lil Uzi, right? Who puts a diamond in his head.
Yeah, I saw that, man. How do
Why?
you want to get a hit on yourself, man? People are gonna get after you who are really from the blocks just to get that diamond out of your forehead. I didn't got it. But the media, or especially the younger age people, all like it.
They like it. They
So
like it.
now that's gonna be the next trend.
Man, look, I think everything has a cycle, and um, I think sooner or later, mumble rap won't be as popular. It'll go back to days when we had called Quest. And in the clips, and people, people rapped about real stuff. These things will come back around because think of maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, all we had was Future, Migos, Young Thug, and everybody was rapping about them. But it's changed a little bit. Um, Real music has
Yeah.
come back into the fold a little bit, and it's just gonna take more time, I guess. I'm not really sure, but
Well, to be honest, I'm surprised that it's lasting this long because
right,
I think mumble rap is around for a good 5 years now already, if I'm not mistaken.
strong,
So,
strong. It doesn't dominate like it did when it first came out because it was the new fresh thing, and
mhm,
Playboy Cardi, people like him. You don't even hear Playboy Cardi's music anymore. So
facts. But there's a
there's people
dozen
like
dozen others.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't hear them as much anymore. Like, think about how big. What's that dude's name from Chicago? Um, what's his name? Sosa.
Well, I'm trying to help you, but I have no clue, man.
Anyway, I'm trying to think of his name. But see, that's the point. That's my point. You can't remember his name now, but he was
No.
huge 5 years ago. Where is he now?
I'm
So
looking at the chat. No one's saying anything in the chat as well, so I think he's out of memory, man.
yeah, he should he should be. He
Yeah,
should be. I'm
facts.
trying to think his name, but yeah. Anyway, the point is, real rappers starting to come back in. You got people like J. Cole forming Dreamville Records with a bunch of people who can actually spit
True.
and rhyme about stuff. And there's other people who are forming collectives, so they're gonna have to break the cycle. Now they can pick me up,
They
and I
should.
will I will stop that cycle.
Hmm. Yeah, but it goes both ways, well, because earlier you said it's because of the labels and the radio stations, but
Yeah,
it goes both ways because, like you said as well, the listeners are also asking for those kind of ridiculous songs just to get hyped
yeah,
up. So,
right.
and at the same time,
Chief
labels like
Keef,
Dream Team,
Chief
sorry,
Chief
bro.
Keef. That's who I was thinking of.
Okay, I wouldn't came up with that, man. I never listened to him once, so I know
I
about
heard,
him. I know the name.
right.
I never fuck with his music. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. For those Chief Key fans, I'm in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Come find me. But
Right.
nah, man. But
Go ahead.
I was saying, labels like Dreamville, they don't get the recognition or the publicity like they should. So how they gonna break the cycle? Or how are you gonna break the cycle once you join them?
Well, I think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to flood the market with my music, and I mean not just one or two songs like I got maybe presently 3 songs on Spotify, but I'm going to have to flood it with 10, 20 songs probably this year.
Dope.
Videos. I it's a guy named Russ. He's from Dallas. And
I'm familiar with Russ.
yeah,
He's one of my
Russ.
favorite artists to be. If we talk about the same Russ,
Yeah,
white
oh
guy
no,
Russ, right?
yeah. He's from Texas. He's originally from Texas,
I've been
and
bumping his music on this station before he blew up for years, man. He's
yeah,
top three artist for me. But go on,
yeah, Russ is amazing. He's
flooded.
amazing.
He is.
He's amazing. But you see what he did? He famously wrote a song and put out a video every week for a year,
For a straight year, man.
and that's how he did it, man. And but the thing about Russ is nobody sounds like him, so that you're gonna have to copy that same kind of blueprint. He took that blueprint from Lil Wayne because for years Lil Wayne was on every
Facts.
single song.
Facts. Yeah,
And
he
flooded
was
it.
just as consistent as Lil Wayne was. Yeah, you're right. But also the type of music, it stands out. And even till today, those older songs. Maybe he's changed a bit. He's famous now. He got a lot of money. I still think
Right,
his older songs are more um, have more content or more meaning behind it than his music
right.
now. Because that last song which he did with who was it in the strip club? That's how big I am on mainstream artists. I don't know none of them, even though
Yeah,
he's big. I can see him. Lil Baby,
right.
was it Lil
Hmm.
Baby his last song?
I think it was Lil Baby.
What was it
I think
about?
it was.
What
I'm
was
not
it about?
exactly sure, but you're right. Russ's older stuff, dude. I'm telling you, Russ, Drake, um, J. Cole started making more things, started making better music. But Wiz Khalifa, I think a lot of their oldest when they really made it, beautiful.
Facts. So is it the money that changed people as well? I know it does, but
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, but honestly, the people who I like, they honestly say, yeah, money's changed me to an extent.
mm,
And they rap about how it has. Like, when Wiz raps about, yeah, money changed me, but I brought people along and we all changed together. That's what it's about. I mean, money's gonna
true.
change you. I don't think you can go all the way around the world two or three times like these big time artists have and it not change you. But
Yeah,
don't
well,
switch
it
up.
sounds logical. So, let's call the worst case scenario. They sign you, you blow up. Um, what would you do to keep the same message behind your music? Because that's what happened. The message changes.
Man, facts. You're right about that. I think the only way to do that is to bring people with you who were there when you got there. Because I mean, I've seen documentary after documentary. These people traveling the world, and all these people. I mean, take Kevin Hart for instance, right?
Hmm.
Um, Kevin Hart drops all these back in the day, maybe 8, 9 years ago, when he was just coming into superstardom.
Hmm.
But he would put out these videos when he would bring all of his friends from Philadelphia, the ones who were there in the beginning, and you can just tell they kept him level headed because dude's a superstar. He's a comedian selling out stadiums, right?
Facts. But he gets trolled on the bus.
Yeah, exactly.
I know exactly which video you mean, man. He's the
Yeah,
big, yeah, he's the biggest one. Well, he made it to the furthest, but he's the one getting trolled the most. He's always a center point in his group of friends, and I think that
right.
that is beneficial for him. I think that really does keep you level-headed and down to earth.
Yeah.
So how's your team? Let's switch it up to that. How's your team?
I got a team. I got some people who do a few things for me, but mostly me and my business partner, we do everything together.
Okay.
Like we're our own publicists. we we make sure all of our money is in place when we make songs, live performances. We book those. I'm grinding. I don't really have a high arching team just yet, but it's coming into place. It's coming.
Well, or you maybe don't need them. Again,
Well, I've been too
to
far
your
without them.
fellow, yeah, that's right. You came a long way without him, so why not go all the way? I think Russ still does everything. Well, I'm sure he got a management by now, but I think most
Yeah,
of the things he still does by himself because at least you know what you're gonna get. So with your small
right.
team of out of two, at least you know that you can depend on a man and know what the result will be. So yeah,
What do you really need a manager for? Honestly, I mean, unless he's got
hella
unless
connections,
he's got
yeah.
a bunch of contacts that can
Hmm.
take you to a whole other level with your music, we're at a stage where the internet has leveled the playing field.
But it's also so with labels nowadays. Since we can publish
Right.
everything ourselves, we distribute it
Yeah.
through DistroKid or Lender. We don't need a label besides maybe the financial support for the promotion part.
Right.
But yeah, man, would you ever sign? Would you ever sign? So let's say bring it back to an earlier question. J Cole knocks on your door. Well, he's maybe a different breed because his music, etc. But would you sign, or
Right.
would you, if you have the same, how do you say that,
Opportunity.
opportunities for yourself without a label? What would you do?
Man, that's a tough one, dude. I've actually, that's a good question. I've well,
Oh, you're back. You're 1 second because the connection was gone for a second. It's back. We're back.
cool,
So
cool,
what would
cool.
you do?
So he's actually one of the few people I said I would sign with. I would sign with J. Cole. I would sign with T Pain. I would sign with J. Cole. I would sign with Wiz Khalifa. Because these are people whom I've seen other people sign with and go on to do some things. Um, but as far as like, yeah, there's tons.
Facts. So um, I'm trying to make a segment because we have a couple more minutes before the first song, and
Yeah.
we still got 5 minutes though. So I'm not sure if I should say right now. But how long are you making music for as a how do you say it, professionally?
Professionally, um, professionally about I'd probably say about 6 or 7 years. I've been doing music professionally. It took me about 3 years to really get the confidence to put the money behind my music because I knew it was coming along. But as they say in music, you need to write about 100 songs
True.
before you uh, before you can really before you make music the way you have it in your head. And it maybe took me about 100 songs before I really got that confidence and started putting my money where my mouth is, um, and people thank God are responding to it and relating because I try to make as much relatable content as I can.
Because you're a storyteller.
Right. Thank you. And I hope that people, Nas wrote a song about East New York, right?
Mhm.
And just for an example, because of the music that him and Jay made, I know what parts of New York not to go to.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I
I,
know. Yeah.
I know where if I know where. Look, I don't dress like anybody in New York, so I know if I go to these parts, I'm gonna stick out. I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna stick out like a sore
Yeah,
thumb,
facts.
and
All the eyes
I
will
may
all
have
go on you.
exactly.
Mm.
So that's the kind of music I make. I make music to where the mistakes that I made, hopefully you don't make them after you listen to what I have to say. Hopefully you listening, first of all.
Yeah,
Um,
they have to start there. But yeah, and then yeah, learn from your mistakes, just like a dad tells his son or daughter. So that's nice, man. And again, we need more people like yourself who actually try to educate the people instead of dumb them down. Or yeah, is that a word? I think it is,
yeah, that's it.
because that's what it
That's
is
it.
nowadays.
They dumbing them down,
Big time, big time.
way down.
So yeah, man. Top notch grinding. Who when? Wow. Rewind. Top notch grinding. Who produced the beat? Who produced the beat?
It's a guy I worked with a few times. He's on YouTube.
Okay.
Uh, makes a lot of beats and stuff. I bought one or two from him, and that was the third beat I actually bought. And I just, it has so much energy to it. I made a video out of it, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So it, it was just born out of the fact that I sometimes I listen to music before I go to bed at night,
Hmm.
and when I wake up, sometimes the hook, the verse, and the song, it'll all be there because my subconscious has been working on it all night long while I've been sleeping.
That's dope.
That's how that song came to me. I listened to the beat probably like 3 or 4 days. Nothing came, dude. It was just blank. And then I listened to it to sleep, and I woke up, and it was just like I was like, yeah,
Get the melody
that's it.
all of the sudden.
Yeah, that's
Well,
it. So that's how that song was born.
I know the title is pretty self-explainable, but for those from the Netherlands who maybe don't understand English as good as I do, or at least I think I am, um, where's the song about?
So the song is mainly about, you know, Top Notch Grinding is our records, right? It's our record label. So we try to represent the best of people who are grinding to get where they're trying to go, who don't take no for an answer, who go to sleep, who eat, sleep, and all whatever they're looking to do in life. So I wanted to make a song that epitomized what we're about, what the record label's about, and what our life is. Basically, we just about top notch grinding, whatever it is. So that's how I came to be.
Okay. Well, with that being said, would you like to announce that song so we can listen to this great and first banger of the evening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here you go. Straight out of Top Notch Grinding Records. Top Notch Grinding from me to you.
Let's get it.
Oh yeah, we top notch.
Are we top notch?
Yeah, we top notch.
Are we top notch?
Oh yeah, we top notch.
Top notch grinding.